Johanna, you are working for Waberer. How many trucks do you have? We see them often on our roads.
Oh, it's a very good question. So in the first slide, I will present you some figures about our company.
It's the time for me to leave the stage and leave it to you.
Yeah, so I will answer your questions. So, good afternoon. It's really difficult to have the presentation after the lunch. So, my name is Johanna Szatmari. I'm project director and I'm working at Waberer International. I'm responsible for the SAP implementations, and of course, two from our colleagues joined to this meeting. Peter Salona, who was the content leader of this first phase implementation. So, and I would like to highlight that we are really proud that we won the SAP Quality Awards gold medal in Central and Eastern Europe at innovation category with this SAP S/4HANA implementation project. So, you can see our logo. You know that we are a transportation company. Previous week when I was in Austria, somebody asked that, hey, come on, I saw a smiling sun in your logo, and the title is that Optimum Solution. Are you a solar system producer company? And the answer is no, we are not. So, who we are? Here you can see some figures. The question was that how many trucks we've got? Please guess what is the right answer. Not really, tell the truth, it's a little bit different. So let's start. So we are active, so we have got more than 65 years experience in cross-border road transportation. Yeah, the answer, we have got now at present more than 3,600 trucks. So this is one of the largest in Europe based on the own asset-based fleet. So what is the two? Our fleet is quite young. So the average age of below 2 years. We have got more than 4,000 professional drivers. We are approximately 7,000 colleagues in the group. We are active in 3 different business segments. The biggest is the international full truckload transportation. The second is the domestic transportation and logistics. And the third is insurance. We have got many, many companies. So we consolidated approximately at this moment, but next week a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit less than 60 companies. We are active in logistics, as I mentioned. We have got quite big capacity, indoor warehouse capacity in Hungary. Yeah, we have managed many, many loads annually. So you can see that we moved annually. It was the previous year figure, more than 510,000 loads. So that means that we drive a lot. So that means that 450 million kilometers were driven in the previous year by our drivers. And of course, from financial point of view, in the previous year, the consolidated IFRS-based turnover was, you can see that 572 million euro. So, question, where we are? Here. These pictures come from our GPS-based track and trace system, the Astrata. So, you can see here on the map our tracks. The name might be misleading. The Waberer International, the headquarters is in Hungary, in Budapest, and where we are active. So, of course, the biggest market is Germany. So, on this picture, you can see the weekly loading capacity. So, the biggest market is Germany. Of course, we are concentrating on domestic market. Very important, the France, the UK, of course, the Spain, the Italian market. We are active with own fleet in Poland, but we are active much more with subcontracting in Poland, in Romania, and of course, we are acting in Central and Eastern Europe as well. So this is our company approximately. We do think we are quite big, and we are quite complex. And why I'm standing here? SAP. Why SAP? Tell the truth, previously we used the Oracle, but we faced such a situation I don't know how many years before, but the Oracle software support ended in the previous year in November. So that's why we were under pressure from this point of view as well. Of course, we faced with technological difficulties, so please try to imagine that how to handling approximately 60 different companies from consolidation and from reporting point of view. We had some license discomfort situation with the Oracle as well, so that's why we faced the situation, we have to move, we have to implement something else. Question mark, what? We opened the Gartner Magic Quadrant, ERP side, and we revised that, okay, there is Oracle, no. Microsoft might be, SAP might be. We started with the discussion with Microsoft, but to tell the truth, we faced quite, in a short period, that we are too complex for Microsoft Dynamics, to tell the truth. So that's why we moved forward. Okay, SAP, the right solution, but which version? ECC6 or S4HANA? We do think that, we believe that we are quite innovative company. For example, we are really proud that we have got external optimization engines, one for the transportation planning and another for the routing optimization. So when we saw the roadmap of the SAP, we realized that the future is S4HANA, not ECC6. So it was very important for us because we knew that we will start a minimum 4 or 5 years long implementation, and we need minimum 10 years software support. So that's why the decision was quite obvious that we have chosen S4HANA. Of course, we know that there is another beautiful functionality, for example, Fiori surfaces. And I learned that the IoT, the Internet of Things, it's really important. This is the normal, usual day in my life. So you can imagine how many different sensors we have got in more than 3,000 tracks and trailers. So that's why we need such a technology, that BW on HANA and for HANA, such a in-memory data warehouse, what we really need in a second wave. I will show you what the content of the second wave implementation. So that's why we made such a decision that we will start with S4HANA, Simple Finance. So, short overview about the project. Quite clear, 10 months. We start in a previous year, in March, officially. Of course, it's a typical waterfall-based implementation, and the go-live date was this year, 1st of January. It wasn't really too easy. Of course, after then, from 1st of January till end of February, it was the post-go-live support from our implementation partner. Now we have got 310 SAP users, and the implementation partner was the SAP Hungary. So, approximately which module we have already implemented. So you can see, of course, business partner, FE, FAA, limited SD, so very limited logistics part, because the second wave will cover the much more massive complexity and functionality of the SD. Limited MM. CEO, it's interesting, so because we do think that we implement simple finance, that means that I do think that we have got accounting. And our approach that we try to manage the figures from accounting point of view, and the controlling can or will be able to create such a report which is necessary from controlling point of view. So that's why, because in a previous day at a VIP dinner, somebody from SAP Slovenia asked me that what is the understanding for me, the simple finance, really simple and finance, but if I heard that there is no barrier between the finance, the accounting, and the controlling, and it's quite true. Tell the truth, I have no experience regarding the ECC6, because previously we used the Oracle, but this is our understanding regarding the simple finance. So tell the truth, we have got very massive leasing management functionality, very massive functionality, the consolidation, and it's the BW, it's not the real BW for HANA. it's a quite simple reporting database. So, and here we highlighted some specialties. The first of all, what was really useful, we used so-called template approach. As I mentioned, that we have got many companies, but the operation is totally similar. So that's why we were able to use this template approach. That's why we have got many intra-company and inter-company posting. The biggest aim of the project was to automate everything what is possible. And I do think that we could reach such a target. So, of course, we have implemented full consolidation, and of course, we implemented a semi-cash pool functionality as well. So, business benefits. These benefits were measured. So we have already realized these sentences. So it's not only a marketing slogan from our side. So first of all, it was a very big achievement that we could replace the Excel-based solution, and we are able to prepare consolidating P&L for each business segments. So we were able to reduce, for example, the month-end closing. So we could implement an integrated leasing and subleasing solution because the leasing management, it's a core functionality for in our operation because we lease, of course, this entire fleet. So, and we were able to reduce the internal supplement approval process from 6 days, it's quite a long one, to 1 day. It might be the biggest what we realized after this project. So, and lessons learned. Sometimes we are smiling, sometimes not. We prepared that what is the key takeaways or lessons learned regarding the first wave. That means that the main lessons learned that the process-driven unified operation we could realize. So we were able to avoid such implementation where the result is 58 different elementary company implementation. So that's why we are able centralized to manage this legal entity portfolio. So we were happy because the template approach worked. So we could cover with one template more than half of the company circle. We really love the so-called, we say that transaction-based consolidation. It's really brilliant. Then you can drill down from the consolidation level to the elementary SAP documents. We really love it. But you know the sentence that garbage in, garbage out. When we translate for this situation that garbage in, garbage will sum up to the consolidation level. So that's why it's necessary to know that the not adequate level of the data quality will occur consolidation faults. It was a big lesson learned for us. Okay, so it was totally new for us because we had no previous life in SAP, that the SAP standard logic enforces process-driven booking. It's perfect. But the previous task sharing among the colleagues in accounting departments was totally different. So that's why we face such a situation that the users, the end users, have to overview the entire business process. So please rethink if you implement the S/4HANA, such a process-driven booking, that the organizational structure and the knowledge necessary to fit with the functionality. So, to tell the truth, we have faced that there were bugs in theory, clear, and we were under time pressure, so that's why we made such a decision that we will implement the theory surfaces later, till end of this year, because the functionality from leasing, from consolidation, from finance point of view, were much more important for us than theory surfaces. So that's why we made such a decision. And tell the truth, it was the first SAP implementation in our life. So we have faced that 10 months was too short. Yeah, tell the truth. If you compare the scope and the complexity, it was too short. So minimum 1 year would be necessary for such a complexity. So that's why we made such a decision that 2-3 smaller functionality we will postpone, and we will implement this year in 2017. So it was the lessons learned regarding the first wave. As I mentioned that we are on a SAP highway. We have got a roadmap. So as I mentioned that in a first wave, in a previous year we have started, and this year we will totally fine-tune and the finance part, the simple finance in SAP S/4HANA. But in a previous year we started the second wave. We will implement the transportation and event management modules of SAP. So this is the 2 modules are industrial solution of the SAP. That means that we implement these 2 modules. Of course, we would like to enlarge the functionality of S4 with finance part as well. So the incoming invoicing, invoice verification, the FI, FIAA, the CO, we would like to enlarge. And of course, we would like to focus on the logistics part as well, so SD and MM as well. We are really proud that we are quite flexible, and we jumped to the cloud. In frame of the second wave, we will implement the C4C. It's the cloud for customer. So the CRM functionality will support with this application. And of course, we try to use this solution for the insurance and the claim administration as well. And as I mentioned, that BV on HANA, in-memory database. So can you imagine that we have got 4,300 tracks. Every tracks in every minute will send a signal, GPS signal. And you can imagine that how many different telematic and telemetric data can we collect from these sensors from the trucks and trailers. We have to collect this information, but it's not enough. I learned in this morning that content and context is really important. So that's why, of course, we would like to analyze our big data, because the most important is the fuel consumption and the driving habits. So that's why we have created such a quite large and massive business data warehouse, because with the different SAP application, reporting application, we would like to analyze these data. So the focus now is on the driving habit analysis. So this is the second wave, and we do hope that we will be able to finalize with this wave next year end. And we have already started the third wave. The third wave, we would like to cover the truck maintenance, warehouse management, and facility management functionality. So that means that we would like to implement the SAP EWM module and the PM. And of course, we would like to interface the PM and the transportation management. And I'm sure, as I mentioned, that we are on a road. So these the first, second, and the third wave covers the international food truck load transportation segment. And of course, later we would like to cover the domestic transportation and logistics, what is really complex, and might be the insurance company as well. So approximately, this is the short essence and the message, what we have started, but we not ended. I've got such afraid that we will end this process. But regarding S/4HANA, we are satisfied customer, tell the truth. Of course, I mentioned there were some difficulties, but it's quite normal. But end of the day, because as I mentioned that the go-live date was 1st of January, so we managed many months end closing. We consolidate many times. So I can promise you that it has sense and it worth to start with S/4HANA. So That's it. Thank you for your attention. Of course, if you have got question, you can see here our email address, and please write us and contact us if you have got deeper question. Thank you.